Have you ever noticed how on New Year's Eve, some people act like the world is restarting and others just wash the dishes, answer one last email, and go to bed at 10:47 like it's a random Thursday? No countdown, no glitter, no New Year, new me. And weirdly, they don't look sad. They look calm, almost immune. So what's the psychology of people who treat New Year's Eve 2026 like a normal day? Let's decode it. 1. They don't get hypnotized by the calendar effect. Most people feel emotional around New Year's Eve because of something psychologists call temporal landmarks. Dates like January 1st feel like a mental reset button. New start. It's why people suddenly believe they'll become a new person at midnight, even though their brain and habits didn't magically change. But the people who treat New Year's Eve like a normal day, they're less influenced by symbolic time, not because they don't care, but because they don't outsource meaning to the calendar. Their motivation tends to be internal, not event-based. They don't need fireworks to reflect. They reflect when it's quiet, when it's honest, when no one's watching. 2. They're low on social comparison and high on emotional independence. For a lot of people, New Year's Eve isn't a celebration. It's a scoreboard. Who's at the best party? Who's kissed someone at midnight? Who posted the best story? Who looks like they're winning life? That pressure is powered by social comparison theory. Your brain scans the crowd and asks, am I doing enough? Am I having enough fun? Am I falling behind? But the normal day person plays a different game. They've built a stronger sense of self that isn't constantly needing external validation. They don't need their life to look exciting to feel valuable. And yes, some of them still feel lonely, but they'd rather feel lonely than perform. That's emotional independence, and it's rare. 3. They don't trust forced happiness. Here's something nobody says out loud. New Year's Eve is one of the most emotionally complicated nights of the year because it comes with a script. You're supposed to feel grateful. You're supposed to feel hopeful. You're supposed to feel excited. And if you don't, you start wondering what's wrong with you. But some people have high emotional intelligence. They can sense when an emotion is real and when it's manufactured. They know that forcing a big moment can backfire. It's like telling yourself, this has to be the best night of the year. Your brain immediately starts scanning for proof that it isn't. That's ironic process theory. The harder you try to force a feeling, the more your mind notices its absence. So they opt out. Not because they're cold, but because they'd rather have a small, true night than a loud, fake one. 4. They're protecting their nervous system. Think about the sensory overload of New Year's Eve. Noise, crowds, expectations, alcohol, bright lights, social pressure. For some people, that's energizing. For others, it's a stress response wearing a party hat. If someone treats New Year's Eve like a normal day, they might have a more sensitive nervous system. Not weak, sensitive. High sensory processing, higher baseline anxiety, or simply a stronger need for routine to feel safe. And routine is powerful. Psychologically, routines reduce decision fatigue. They signal predictability. They lower cortisol. So while everyone else is chasing intensity, they're choosing regulation. And here's the twist. In 2026, with everyone already overstimulated all year long, that choice is starting to look less boring and more wise. 5. They don't believe in the overnight identity swap. New Year's resolutions feel inspiring because they're not really goals. They're identity fantasies. I'll be disciplined. I'll be confident. I'll be unstoppable. But the brain loves shortcuts. It would rather imagine change than do change. That's why people get a dopamine hit from planning the perfect new year, even if they don't follow through. The normal day person is often more realistic, sometimes even quietly skeptical. They've been through enough cycles to know that motivation fades, that real change is boring, repetitive, unseen. They don't want a dramatic reset. They want a slow rebuild. So instead of celebrating the idea of becoming someone new at midnight, they keep being who they are and improve when it actually matters, on a random Thursday, in February, when nobody claps. Now, quick reality check. Sometimes treating New Year's Eve like a normal day is healthy, but sometimes it's a shield. For a few people, it's avoidance, a way to dodge reflection, a way to not feel the grief of another year passing, a way to not face the gap between the life they wanted and the life they're living. And if that's you, you're not broken. Your brain might just be protecting you from disappointment, but protection and growth aren't the same thing. So here's the real takeaway. If you treat New Year's Eve 2026 like a normal day, it doesn't mean you're boring. It might mean you're emotionally self-contained, less influenced by social pressure, more honest about what you feel, more committed to real change than symbolic change. And if you do love the countdown and the chaos, that doesn't make you shallow. It just means your brain finds meaning through shared emotion, through collective rituals, through connection. Either way, the goal isn't to celebrate the right way. The goal is to notice what your way reveals about you. So, which one are you? The person who needs the midnight reset, or the person who never waited for midnight in the first place? If this felt uncomfortably accurate, you'll probably like what's coming next. Subscribe for more psychology that actually explains people without judging them.